I wanted cocaine, but I got a rubber instead. Quaaludes. I'm not doing those. Cocaine or boner pills? What do you got for me? Oh, yeah. Snap into a Slim Jim. Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Geek Battalion Vets podcast. My name is Duncan, and I am joined by...
Jimmy.
Oh, I'm B.
You're
here.
B.
I'm here
He's here. He's all right. We are a pop culture podcast hosted by a Marine, a soldier, and a cop. Hold the spit. And we like to talk about all things geek, so movies, TV shows, comics, Star Wars, all that sort of fun stuff. We have a disproportionate amount of Star Wars talk, I would say. So that's
Says you.
That's you.
Yeah. I agree with that.
But it's all good. It's all good. So
one day we're going to flip the script and it's going to be Star Trek.
I don't think we are. But you can keep trying, and maybe one day.
I'm trying.
Don't lose hope. That's what they say.
Or do whichever is easier. Whatever you want to do.
But today we're here to do our Veterans Day special
and wish the Marine Corps a happy birthday. That's what I'm here to do.
That's what you're here to do. That's why you're so hungover.
Which is not in line with Marine Corps tradition. I should be wasted right now.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It won't take me long to bounce back.
Yeah, this is our Veterans Day special. So we're gonna talk about the
real heroes.
The real heroes out there, not those doing podcasts. But
that's a fact.
But before we get into the main topic of our Veterans Day special, let's do the sit rep.
Yeah, let's get it.
Happy 248th Marine Corps.
Absolutely not. No.
Jesus Christ. Show some respect.
Go Colts.
Why would the fuck would you ever say something like that?
I don't know. He was wearing a Colts hoodie earlier. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I do like the Colts, even though they're trying their damnedest to suck this year.
That's great. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Anyways.
Avengers Assemble. Geek Battalion Vets podcast.
Heroes. Veterans.
Farts.
Some gave...
Sorry.
Farts. Yeah.
My humor's broken.
Yeah. All gave some.
Ah, okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of feel like a dick, but
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's my honor to all the veterans out there that have raised their hand and volunteered to serve our great nation, because this is a all volunteer army and military at this time, and so it's a big thank you to all of those that have done this. And whether you deployed or you didn't, you're still a veteran, and so thank you from me. And I do appreciate your service. But anyway, on to the sit rep, right? Yeah, on to the sit rep.
What is, what? I'm new to the show. What is this sit rep thing that we're doing here?
Funny you ask. I have the answer to that question.
I would
the
love
sit
to
rep
hear it.
is basically where we talk about what we've been doing for the last week, what we've been reading, watching, getting into. Or whether it's in our personal life or what we've been doing for the show or whatever else. So
no, that's very helpful. Thank you.
You go first.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah,
you.
Let her rip, Tater Chip.
Well, I just want to clarify something from a previous episode.
Oh, Jesus, this segment again.
Okay.
I did finish Duncan's costume.
He did. Yeah,
he did.
And I'm
all right.
very proud with the outcome.
It was just all right. It was fucking rad.
Awesome. Pretty good.
Yeah.
It was great.
So,
I absolutely loved it.
I meet my deadlines.
Took some great pictures with the kids in it. And
yes, fantastic.
If you don't know, I don't think we actually officially said it on the show. Maybe I'll post a masked up.
We should do that.
Photo from Halloween. But I was a combination of Batman and the Mandalorian, known as Batmando, and I as I've talked about, have a young child who was a baby Yoda, or Grogu, as the name is, Robin.
Yes.
A Grogu Robin. So I indoctrinated a small child into my war on galactic crime, basically.
Cutest to encounter both roles. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
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 As an unofficial uncle, I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You can be an official uncle.
Oh,
That's fine.
sweet. I can be an official uncle.
Yeah, nice.
Today's all right. But that was my, kind of my highlight of the week, because the rest of the week really sucked. But what else? I did watch a little more Gen V.
Did they? I didn't realize. I thought they dumped all the episodes at once. Had they not done that?
They did, but
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I
Again-
thought I saw a headline the other day. It was like, "Oh, the finale's available now." So I was confused. I didn't know.
I think they dumped.
Maybe they dumped the first half, or I don't know.
I only got through 3 episodes, I think, before I was like, I got to pump the brakes here. So it has
too much gore for me.
gore.
maybe
is
maybe
not
they did like The
proper
Witcher.
word, but
maybe they did like The Witcher, and they dropped like half the season, and then
maybe I don't
and then
know.
dropped
I
the
didn't
second
watch
half.
it all in one sitting, which maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know.
They dropped the first 3 episodes on like one premiere, and then they did it weekly after that. It looks like.
Okay, so I started like
So
week 2 then, because I was like 3 or 4 episodes in before I was like, I don't know if this is doing it for me. The story has gotten a little bit better. I think I have 1 or 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
You can't watch it around your children. Like they can't even be. They can't even be in like a mile radius from you when you watch it, because it's that rough. But I did that. I know we'll talk about it later, but I caught up on Loki. I beat Spider-Man.
Ooh.
Which was
Is that your dick's
fun.
name, or? Sorry. Sorry.
Fair enough. I beat Spider-Man 2. Sorry.
Oh, so twice.
The game.
No, the game.
Marvel's Spider-Man 2 for the PS5.
Yes.
It's a weird name for your dick.
No,
Yeah, it's a very weird name.
Now I have to call my dick Spider-Man the rest of my life.
Yes.
Thanks a lot.
It's a service we provide.
Oh, yep. So next time I'm sitting in a room. So I was beating Spider-Man the other day. And
But see, that makes it more, you can discuss it in an open setting.
but then
now.
they're like, were you the lizard? Were you Doc Ock?
I was watching the
I
lizard.
was Black Cat.
And which way do you
Hey,
swing? Does it
girl.
swing to the right or to the left? Or
Why you gotta make it weird, bro? But yeah, so I did all those things. I can't remember if I did anything else. Like I said, I'm just a dumpster fire of a human being, and the rest of the week is not worth mentioning.
I don't know about that.
I wouldn't go that far.
Stop giving me credit where it's not due. It's fine.
Human being is pretty far, but dumpster fire.
Yeah, I don't know
think-
about.
Oh no, I think I've proven that time and time again.
All right.
Somebody
you
else
wanna-
go.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
you want to go next?
Yeah. Okay. So I got a couple things here. So started watching Rick and Morty season 7.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just watched episode 1.
That's the newest season.
It's the
correct?
newest
Okay.
season. Yeah. I only had time to watch episode 1 so far. It's available on YouTube.
I thought it was on Hulu. It's not on Hulu.
No. Well, we watch it on YouTube.
Like YouTube TV, like
No, it like YouTube itself. Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, so we had to. We used to have YouTube TV, but then we stopped that because we're trying to save money. But anyway, so then we had to pay for that. But yeah, new voices for Rick and Morty, and you can definitely tell the difference in the actors.
That's too bad.
Yeah, Rick it doesn't sound like the same like veracity that was Rick.
Less rapey, spousal abusey kind of guy, or what?
Yeah, maybe
What are we
that's
talking
what
there?
fueling it, but yeah. And Morty is it's like a really bad cop off. Rick is pretty close, but Morty just isn't there. I mean, the episode overall was kind of meh. It had Birdman and Gearman. And,
That's too bad, because I was really hoping that the voices wouldn't matter.
yeah. I tried to put the voices aside and just like watch the episode, but all I could keep focusing on is like, that's not Rick and that's not Morty.
I know they tried to like make that not the focus because
Right.
they held off on announcing like the names of the actors and everything, and
Yeah.
they wanted people to just kind of
They should have gone and got that dude from The Walking Dead that was the voice of Red Skull in Endgame, because that he's incredible.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but that he does have a wide variety of
Yeah, he's
voice
amazing.
impressions. He
Get
can
that
do, but
guy.
But I remember when they announced that they had new voices and they like showed a clip, and the clip that I saw, I was like, okay, sounds pretty similar, but that's unfortunate that.
Yeah, I mean, they're like Rick is definitely like 90% there.
Yeah.
Morty is like 85, but the Rick voice actor is now Ian Cardoni, and Morty is Harry Belden. I think, I don't know. Maybe it's just the episode 1. You know, they're still finding their feet. Maybe it gets better. We'll see. But
do you know off the top of your head, have those guys done any other voice acting or anything? I didn't know if
you would think
they were
have.
famous.
You wouldn't think they would throw them into the mix.
I don't know. The only reason I ask is because it sounds like, from what I'd seen on social media, so take that with a grain of salt, was that there was a like thousands and thousands of people that were sending in voice tape auditions.
You'd think they would be
doing their best Rick and Morty.
Right?
I saw some really good Rick and Mortys, and
looks like just looking at his.
But instead, they picked these two fucks.
Looking at his, that gives us all hope, right? Yeah. Looking at his IMDb, at least for Rick, he's done some interesting.
I don't like your face. I don't like your face right
He's done
there.
some voice acting before. Nothing that like is really notable in any way. But the weird look I was giving is that I saw he was the voice in WrestleMania 37 TV special. He did some narration, but it says he's Jack Sparrow narrator. I don't know what that means. Like, was Jack Sparrow a wrestler or was Jack Sparrow narrating? Anyway,
you know what? I don't know the answer to any of these questions.
And that's Do
we have any WWE fans that can chime in?
Yeah,
and help
somebody
us out here?
help me out with WrestleMania.
Oh, speaking of WWE, Paul, I can't see him.
Oh, you can't see me.
I can't see him.
Damn it, you can't hear the John Cena hand symbol.
John Cena! Oh, and we just got copyright flagged.
Oh, shit.
No, that was my
did it so well.
interpretation.
Yeah. No, but speaking of WWE, Paul Logan just became the fucking WWE champion.
Okay, who's that?
Who's that?
He's a YouTuber.
Oh, Logan Paul?
Oh, yeah.
Logan Paul.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, so we're going to start that over.
No, we're going to keep it. Just roll with it.
Yeah, okay, rolling with the punches.
You know what
that's
else
what they
I
do
heard?
in WWE, right? They roll with the punches.
I mean, when, they don't
They
actually
don't make
make contact.
Yeah. They roll before the
I like it
punches.
when they slap the chest.
Yeah.
They
They do that.
Speaking of something WWE related, I read something the other day that I can't confirm or deny, but I hope it's true. That back in the 80s, that Hulk Hogan had a bubblegum machine that was just full of narcotics.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say condoms, but that's
Something
that's
tells me
funny, too.
that wasn't a thing then.
Yeah, he's like just raw dogging bitches all day.
Why would we have rubbers in this narcotics
Raw dogging
machine?
randos.
Yeah, who put the contraceptive in here?
Yeah.
Macho Man would like candy.
I wanted cocaine, but I got a rubber instead. Quaaludes. I'm not doing those. Cocaine or boner pills? What do you got for me? Oh, yeah.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
You went hard on that one.
Bum, 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 bum.
Poor Spider-Man.
Yeah. That's a callback. I see what you did there.
Anyway, now that we've
So I was
officially
beating
gone
Spider-Man the other day. Go ahead. Sorry.
officially gone off the rails here. Okay, so next up, Halo Infinite Season 5 dropped. They released it back on October 17th. I finally got into it, but they call it the Season of the Reckoning. There's a lot of quality of life improvements that they did, and I did enjoy.
So they have like universal health care and
yeah,
Education's free.
yeah.
no student loan forgiveness and all that.
Yeah.
Damn you, liberal agenda.
I'm sorry.
Perfect.
This is already going off
Quality
the
of
rails.
life. Quality of life.
Well, yeah, quality of life updates. Yeah.
Might I add, this is water. I'm just saying.
Yeah. They got rid of all the taxes. It's perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
Utopia.
Hey, guess what? Duncan doesn't have a job in this world.
But anyway, back to it. So I played the game. It felt a little bit smoother with what they've done, but there's still some kinks to work out. And speaking of 343, they have officially announced fundamental changes to the networking. You might have heard me mention like desync issues. Basically, that's where like one computer talks to the other, and they're not syncing up through the network and through everything else. So you throw a grenade and it disappears through the servers, or your rockets disappear or whatever. So that's been an ongoing thing since the game launched back in 2021, I think it was, and it's just been infuriating the player base. But
so Republicans paid for those grenades and missiles,
and they're just
no longer
disappearing.
there.
How dare they? Yeah, so they were trying to fix it bit by bit, but they've said they're going to fundamentally change the process and revamp it from the ground up. So it sounds like they're just hitting the hard reset button and be like, okay, everything we did sucked, so we're just going to start over. But yeah, that's the full updates and everything else you can find online at halowaypoint.com. There's also really good video of the updates by Mint Blitz. You can find him on YouTube. He's a really good Halo YouTuber. A really great gameplay. Dude's fucking amazing. But anyway, along with Season 5, they did drop 2 new maps. One is called Forbidden, which is kind of like a stone kind of Aztec feel. And then the other one is Prism, which is on the Zanghili homeworld. The Zanghelis are basically the elites, the big monster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, big bad monsters in Halo. And they did add cross-core customization on the helmets. So any helmet that you have, you can finally...
So now you can customize your generals in Halo too? Is that...
Your heads and your shoulders.
Oh, I misunderstood what you were
helmet.
saying.
Yeah.
So I was beating Spider-Man the other day.
Yeah, exactly.
One last thing here. Baldur's Gate 3 did release a patch 4 update. And I just got to read a couple of their updates because it's pretty funny how they said it.
I feel like this is directly tied to generals here.
Let's see. Okay, so yeah, one of them is licking the hunk of spider meat and the gauntlet of Shar might make you sick.
What the fuck did you just say?
That's a euphemism.
Yeah. No, licking the hunk of spider meat and the gauntlet of Shar might make you sick.
Licking the hunk of spider meat.
You should have listened to Gale.
So I was beating Spider-Man the other day.
The spider meat,
Fix some NPCs being able to shoot through floor and ceilings. They've said they'll play fair.
Get it? Because I was shooting
one
through floor.
Giant dick joke episode.
I mean, that's nothing new. Let's be honest.
Gale should no longer complain about you making a deal with Raphael if you haven't.
Who's Gale and what the fuck is her problem?
Him.
Oh,
yeah, he's actually
My bad.
he's actually the character that I mentioned when Baldur's Gate first came out, and all the women that were playing, they would always keep him at the camp because he's so fucking annoying.
He's the Prince Charming guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. There's another one here.
Gale, like from Breaking Bad.
Like Gail Bedecker,
Yeah.
Oh, Gail Bedecker. Good call out.
Walt Whitman.
WW.
You got me. Added better multiplayer support for the post-celebration night in Act 1. Now all avatars can choose which companion they want to get jiggy with.
I could make sex jokes out of everything you've said for the last 5 minutes.
Yes.
I thought it was just going to be like, if you want a bigger dick, you can have it now. But
You want a big old clip? We got it for you.
Okay, last one here. Halcyon will no longer spontaneously decide it'd be fun to turn into a bear before he talks to you in Act 1. But
maybe I can make that one a sex thing. I don't.
Yeah, so new patch 4
me time.
updates. Lots of stuff that they did. You can find it at baldursgate3.game/new
In your mouth.
stuff. Anyway, Baldur's Gate 3 new patch 4 is live. That's all that I have.
that leaves me, I guess.
That is you.
So I watched Werewolf by Night in color.
Oh, really?
For the Halloween thing.
I meant to watch that for not the in color one, but the black and white, the original for Halloween. And
I really enjoyed
forgot.
the black and white one when it came out.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Really like that idea of releasing like just shorts,
Yes.
like character focused.
And again, Marvel at its best of doing something with characters we don't give a shit about, like Man-Thing,
it's just as it's better in black and white, but it's I mean
it's still good.
It's still great in color, and it's interesting. Like some things I didn't think were the same color as what I'd kind of visualized, when you're watching it in black and white. But I just forgot how good that movie is
great.
in general, and just how fun. Like the werewolf transformation, and like how I love how old school it is. It's not like a giant humanoid wolf. It's like a man covered in fur with kind of snarling face features. It looks
like the OG Wolfman.
Right. It looks like an updated version of that in the face. Like the face doesn't look quite as like weird and round, kind of like the old Wolfman. But like super brutal and gory. That's the thing in this. Like there's a lot more of the red blood gore with that. And I love the transformation, the way that they only show like him transforming in the shadow, and they just show Elsa like horrifically watching it in the same cage as him and stuff like that. Super good. But so that's worth a watch. I've been playing more Spider-Man 2. I'm nowhere close to beating it because I have not had time.
Oh, you're close.
I'm not anywhere close. Not anywhere close to beating Spider-Man 2 for the PS5.
That was a nice touch. I like that.
Yeah.
And then I've been watching a little bit more Rebels when I've had a chance. I've only made it a little bit further, but I'm up to like the Trials of the Darksaber.
Nice. So what are you, season 3?
Yeah, somewhere in season 3. So met Thrawn and all that, and got past like the Ryloth arc where he takes her family heirloom thing and she blows up all that shit in her house.
Kachatori or whatever it's called.
I think that's
something like that.
But
pretty close. Statutory.
Probably not.
It was definitely not that.
But and then
don't come near Spider-Man with that kind of talk.
Where Ezra goes to Dathomir with Maul, and Sabine gets possessed, and not depressed, possessed.
Her dad kind of fucks him over. Hera's dad kind of fucks him over when they're trying to steal the aircraft.
Yeah, that's early in the
spacecraft aircraft carrier thing. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's great. I'm enjoying that.
I really love all the stuff like with the Mandalorians and Rebels, once you finally get to meet Sabine's family and all that stuff. That's
actually, you know what? I think that's right where I got to. I think she just beat Gar Saxon.
Oh, nice.
That's, now that you say that, I remember.
Technically, she didn't beat her.
Whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She defeats Gar Saxon.
He dies. We'll just put it that way.
And she just refuses to kill him because she's
Jedi. Is that before they talk about the super weapon?
Yes.
Okay.
It's before. Because the start of season 4, I think, is called
the TIE Defender stuff.
Heroes of Mandalore, I think, where they go back and they rescue Sabine's dad, and then they find the super weapon and all that stuff.
Because they've mentioned that, maybe the super... I don't know. I don't want to ask and spoil myself, so...
Yeah. It's not a huge story piece. It's just like kind of gives you some insight.
This is an in-betweequel, so I know where everything goes. But eventually.
But I don't think and they don't really reveal it. They mention it in the series, but they don't really tell you exactly what she did. But Sabine was an Imperial for a time, and then
they talk about how she was an Imperial weapons expert, and she was in the academy.
And then the fourth season, they dive
back
into it. But,
okay.
But yeah, we haven't talked about that for a while. That's good stuff.
Really good show. I really enjoy it. I think I like it probably 10 times more than I like Clone Wars. Like it's
10 times,
way more.
Wow.
I can keep a grasp on what the fuck is happening in it. I'm not jumping around. Like I know I've bitched about that before.
It's concise. It's to the point.
Season 7 of Clone Wars is probably
it's the best Star Wars.
I don't know if it's the best Star Wars, but
it's
fucking great, and it's it's way better than the previous.
We can't see what makes season 7, like the ending of season 7, so amazing is like all the time and energy that you put into.
That's the
season
problem.
1. Is all the other seasons.
As I say that season 7 is so good, it's like it wouldn't mean shit if you hadn't watched the first.
Probably,
seasons.
yeah, that's fair. And the first 5 5-6 episodes have nothing to do with the last 4.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, that whole sisters arc.
I mean, they're launching the Bad Batch in the first 3 or 4 episodes, and then you have 3 episodes of
that'll probably be the next Star
the
Wars
Martez
content
sisters.
I watch will be Bad Batch after
I think you'll
Rebels.
enjoy that.
I love Kanan. I know where it's going, so that's really sad. But I love that like once he's met with Bendu and he kind of learns to see again with the Force.
Oh, that's so great. I watched that episode the other day again too, and like that moment where his eyes change from I'm blind to like I can see. That is so fucking awesome.
It's really like a testament to how powerful Kanan is. Like, I mean, he's technically blind throughout the rest of the series, but he's using the Force to.
He's at his most powerful when he's blind.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and he's just because he's so attuned to the Force to be able to function on a daily basis, like everything else. Like, there's a moment they go back to Geonosis with when they rescue Saw Gerrera, and they find one of the bugs is still alive, but the first person, the first person to notice it is like the bug's like hiding in the dark, spying on them, and Kanan's like, Ezra,
it's a small child and
across
the
the canyon or whatever there, like shine a light in there, and then they see it. Like he's sensing all of these things.
But Saw was right. Let's just put it. I mean,
I don't know. I mean,
I hated Saw Gerrera.
Are you
as a character.
fucking kidding me?
I couldn't stand him. He was so annoying. Maybe it's just like how they wrote him, but I just couldn't. I couldn't.
Well,
stand
I mean,
his
he's
character.
kind of a terrorist, so there's that.
Yeah,
but
that's kind of problematic. But
it's
anyway,
war. It's war. It's war.
It's war, but
war.
Never mind. I was about to say something, and it would have just fucking dragged us down into a fucking rabbit hole that we never would have recovered.
So I
from.
was beating Spider-Man. Okay.
Nope.
Tried to save us. Sorry.
But I also watched season 2, episode 1 of Invincible. That premiered.
that dropped.
That was the
premiered
third. Huh?
On the 3rd.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait a minute. What day is today?
The 4th.
It's not the 3rd.
Okay.
It's after that. So
I don't even know where I'm at right now.
Yeah. But it's
Damn,
good.
I forgot about
I'm
that.
excited to see they're releasing it just weekly, one episode at a time.
That's smart, probably.
I get, without spoiling it, we get to see some multiverse shenanigans kind of, and get introduced to kind of the new main players of this season, presumably. And again, it's fantastic. I'm really glad they took their time on it with the art and the voice acting and everything else. I think they really have a strong idea of what they're doing. And
Nice. Jimmy, have you even seen the first season yet?
No, I haven't.
That's why I don't want to say anything.
I've been putting
more
Invincible off because I want to devote time
That's
to
a
it.
mistake.
And
You
got to beat Invincible.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's good. It's very good.
I'll give you that. That was a little
And,
late, but I'll give it to you.
I'm excited to see where that goes. So that's pretty much what I've been working on. Other than I guess we have Loki episodes 4 and 5 we haven't talked about, but I'll just say this, like I'm really, really enjoying this show. And it has been so strong from start to finish or close to finish right now.
Oh yeah. Every actor that they've picked for this series,
I agree.
They've been
phenomenal.
fucking crushing
The
it.
one thing that Marvel has never ceased to go all in on, in my opinion, I mean, I can think of a couple movies as exceptions, but their casting has been pretty fucking good.
99% of the time they cast very, very well.
Yeah.
On occasion, maybe even in this show, they cast some piece of shit who might be beating the shit out of his spouse. But
that's neither confirmed nor denied.
We don't
Mostly
know.
Probable. I mean, we know it's probable.
Probable cause definitely exists because he's been arrested and he's going to trial.
Which I think now is a good time as any. So the rumor that I heard the other day, they're talking about, Marvel's talking about they are considering switching Kang to Doctor Doom.
Yeah, they're considering apparently some insider leaked some possible Marvel talks that they're considering transitioning this phase's big bad from Kang to Doctor Doom, which I don't really give a shit, but figure it the fuck out.
Right. No, that's most important to me. And the other thing is, along the lines of Marvel's nailed the casting thing, Doctor Doom's a big one.
That is a big one, and a lot of people are going to care about who is cast as Doctor Doom, especially because he's not yet been cast well in any of his movie appearances, I would say.
Well, he's only been in what?
Two.
And
well, I mean,
same person
two
times.
people have played.
Oh wait,
two people have played him. He was in Fan Four Stick, the most recent one with Kate Mara and Michael B. Jordan. There was a different.
See, I never have actually seen that all the way.
Fan Four Stick, because in the
they put the
promo art
the
they
middle.
made the four, the A in Fantastic. They made it the four, so it's Fan Four Stick. But
so I was beating Fan Four Stick. Way late.
But yeah,
it didn't go.
I think that they, if they want to do that, if they want to transition to Doctor Doom, that's cool. But again, figure out what the fuck we're doing here, because
everything seems to be riding on it. Everything.
Yeah.
Like the next 2 Avengers movies seem to be riding on it.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Like,
now that the writer's strike is over, maybe they can figure it out.
Maybe.
Look, as much as respect as I have for writers to make good content, they have nothing to do with the casting. Like,
well, no,
there are people that are involved
true,
with that do that. So I guess let's just throw it out there. Who would you like to see as a potential Doctor Doom? Are you asking AI? That's
no, I'm not.
Cheap. Okay.
I'm not. I'm looking up something else that I remembered was possible news.
Well, Jimmy,
here,
who would be your?
Let me
be your Doctor Doom?
Let me think. You sprung this on me here.
Well, do you have one?
No, I was hoping that I would have time to think about it while you guys looked it up. And
I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't read a lot of Doctor Doom or Fantastic Four comics, so I don't have a strong.
That being said, I understand the weight that character holds. Like, I have never thought highly of the Fantastic Four. But again, I didn't read a lot of their stuff. I read the most Fantastic Four I've ever read was during the Civil War arc, and that accounts for like one book that I read, which was actually very good. But
the problem with casting Doctor Doom is that it's kind of contingent on casting the rest of the Fantastic Four, because their origins are at least tied together in some way. And I would imagine that like to me, just not thinking about the greater MCU at hand, I would cast maybe a slightly older actor as Doctor Doom to give kind of an experience aspect and a gravitas aspect of it. Like initially, I kind of thought maybe like Viggo Mortensen would be good.
That's really good.
But I think that he's probably too old at this point, just for the simple fact that they're going to want to sign him to like a 10 movie contract or some shit, like something insane. And if they're going to set...
I almost disagree with that, though. I almost think that... I don't know that Marvel or anybody's that forward thinking anymore. I'm thinking like a 3-movie deal.
Either way,
I mean, Viggo is, I think, at least in his 60s now, right?
I don't know exactly how old he is, but I mean, he's old enough that I think that it would be hard pressed to give him like a long-term continuous role in the MCU.
So I was looking up characters and looking up actors who would make a good fit for this, and you're speaking about gravitas and everything else. I think Tim Oliphant.
Oh fuck! I love him. I don't.
Just because he's got that charisma and he's kind of that age, kind of that area.
The closest he's gotten to playing a Doctor Doom-esque character was in the Die Hard 4.
Yeah, and that's what I'm basing it off of, like,
whatever it was, and that movie was fucking
he is
terrible.
In that, isn't he?
Yes.
I forgot he's the weird
But he played
guy
he did it really good, though.
Oh, he's excellent. That movie is fucking terrible, though.
Yeah.
And I don't know
he takes down a helicopter.
I don't know that his
with a
character
car.
was that interesting either.
I'm so used to seeing him as Raylan Givens.
Yeah, he's got to be a cowboy,
or
man.
Cobb Vanth, like
Or
who is Raylan Givens in Star Wars.
100%. Or the Marshal of Deadwood, which
I never watched Deadwood.
Yeah.
So,
you
but
would love.
I've
good
heard
he
it's
is in
great.
that.
Yeah.
It's just,
Deadwood is so good.
I've heard it's good. I've never watched it, but that was kind of where he got his big break, is my understanding. But
Raylan Givens is fantastic.
I have that strong like Kentucky accent that he does like in that show, like in my head, the southern kind of drawl that he puts on everything.
Sure.
I'm like, man, Victor Von Doom. But I mean, he's a good actor, so maybe he could.
I wouldn't want to take
it
it away from him just because I have so much respect for him. Like he's so great at everything he does, but I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna be that guy, you gotta pick somebody that's has an air about them, like has that
almost like I think maybe what it is, and it just kind of occurred to me, he's like pretty down to earth.
Yeah.
In like most of his portrayals, and I feel like Doctor Doom is like
out
the
of
most
touch.
arrogant, out of touch. Like I'm a literal king of a country.
So you
and
need somebody almost like
love it.
on the same line of like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Well, and that's interesting that you say Benedict Cumberbatch, because he's the Sorcerer Supreme. He's Doctor Strange and
supremely arrogant
and very arrogant, but also Doctor Doom is like constantly vying for that. Like he wants to be the Sorcerer Supreme.
Right.
He's a magic user in the Marvel comics, and he's like had he's been the Sorcerer Supreme before in different Elseworld or whatever Marvel calls him. What if
Val Kilmer would have been a good pick back before,
all of his health issues.
Yeah, because he's very much that arrogant character.
Well, what about, if you want to talk about arrogance, what about like a Vincent Vega? What about a fucking John Travolta? Like, super hateable, easily hateable guy.
I just think he's too like insane now for that.
Yeah, okay, Gary Busey. You could throw Gary Busey. He's fucking
buttered sausage.
He's doing goddamn T-Mobile internet commercials right now. He's available. Is what I'm saying.
Goddamn time I see that fucking commercial, I lose my shit.
The Santa one.
The one where he's singing with Zach Braff and fucking
that one's bad.
Whatever
too.
the other guy is from Scrubs. I fucking lose my mind. Every time I go to a movie theater, they fucking show that one. And I've been very close to just blasting the fucking screen. Like, it fucking enrages me for whatever reason. I can't stand it.
You haven't seen him as Santa Claus then
No,
in
I
the
haven't.
new commercials then.
Because I don't have fucking anything that plays commercials, like cable-wise or anything. So the only time I see commercials is if they put them in the fucking theaters.
So he's I'm pretty sure it's like the same thing, like no, I'm wrong. It's he took over for fucking Nick Fury. He's what's in your wallet guy.
Oh, okay.
Capital One?
Capital One, yes. So it's a scene for scene, shot for shot commercial of Saturday Night Fever. But he's Santa Claus, and he's like walking down the street, and he's got the fucking boots on. He's like, dun, dun, and then he does a little dance montage at the end. And then
I'm already angry.
Drops the what's in your wallet thing.
He just, I think he's kind of just tarnished himself with doing such like money grab B-list terrible direct-to-DVD movies.
Battlefield the Earth or
and
whatever the fuck that movie
his fucking weird like
After Earth.
Well, I don't know, whatever, but his weird like plastic surgery and facial hair, and like it's like he's wearing like taped on facial hair and a wig all the time. He just looks terrible. But don't show me this fucking commercial. I don't want to see it.
Our good friend Tony, you got to understand where this is coming from first. His wife is
also John Travolta's 69 years old. Continue.
Okay, maybe it'll kill him. Who knows? And then good. Then we'll all miss him very much. But our good friend Tony, his wife is a devout Sooner fan. I got to throw that out there. And
is that a sports ball game?
It is a sports ball team thing. And as we are recording this, the annual tradition that is ending today of Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State, which is better known as the Bedlam game. The Sooners did not turn out so hot that one, so they lost the very last bit.
I'm waiting for the connection.
And Tony's wife is very angry right now, but her nomination for the casting of Dr. Doom, which I think ties directly into her response, is Ken Jeong or Zach Galifianakis. So she's very angry. You got to understand that mindset right now.
I don't understand.
She's just, get the fuck away from me. Yeah, but Tony says Adam Driver, which I think he could be a good Doctor Doom.
No, he's too dry and deadpan.
I don't know.
I feel like both those things describe Doctor Doom.
I don't know. I just am tired of seeing him associated with.
I don't hate it.
Fantastic Four castings because everyone's saying he should be Reed Richards.
I don't hate that either. He's got a long face that's already stretched out.
Well, yeah, John Krasinski.
Okay?
Good night.
Let's try it a fourth time just to make
one more
sure.
time.
Yep.
You know what? John Krasinski could be.
You're not editing that.
That was
I'm not
perfect.
letting you do that.
The fourth time was perfect. I loved it.
Yeah. He could be a great
the guy from The Office.
Yes, that one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He could be a great who? Dr. Doom or Reed Richards?
That one. Reed Richards.
He did play Reed Richards in
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
And
so there's
turning spaghetti.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're talking about how I heard that and they want to bring him back, and I'm absolutely on board with that because he would be a great.
Well, I think
Reed
some people want him back, but my understanding, and some of this is from listening to or reading that MCU Reign of Marvel book that I talked about last time, was that basically Kevin Feige was aware of all the fan casting of him as Reed Richards and was like, well, since we're gonna have Reed Richards in this movie, but it's not Reed Richards, not our Reed 100%. Richards. I'm just going to do what the fans want and give him that give him that
I
win.
Think so too.
And I don't think they have any intention of bringing him back as actual Reed Richards.
I changed my mind.
He's too busy directing now anyway.
I want Jada Pinkett Smith as Dr. Doom. That's what I want.
I thought you were going to say in like a Tupac movie. But
no, Tupac actually dated her. I think
know.
So. No,
I would love to see John Travolta because I saw his.
How did we get here?
His movie from Paris with Love, and he was fucking psycho in that. So
not the same kind of psycho. I've seen that too. Not the same kind of psycho as Doctor Doom.
That was the first time I saw him
in Swordfish too, where he
made
Hugh Jackman get sucked off.
Okay, let's not talk shit about Swordfish. There's some great moments in that movie.
Except for when they're driving
Holly Berry.
Yeah, they're driving in a car and they're hacking.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And he's getting blown with a gun to his head.
Yeah.
And
hacking the Pentagon or some shit.
Sure, whatever.
All works out. Yeah.
We don't condone those actions.
No. Yeah. No.
Because I was beating Spider-Man the other day.
But
he's faster on the punch this time.
Yeah. Nothing needs to be on your lap, just ready to go at all times.
Just hover above that button like it's fucking.
Especially this episode. Apparently.
Press your luck. No whammy. No whammy. Stop. There we go.
I like that. No whammies.
So yeah, that's
Did this
our
all
Dr.
spawn
Doom
from Loki?
Yes.
That we're not talking about.
Dude, we're
anyway. That episode's going to be 16 hours long.
Attention deficit issues going on
you
here.
No. We just go with the flow.
Yeah. And then the only other thing I wanted to bring up is that they dropped which kind of came out of nowhere. Marvel dropped a trailer for Echo. Which comes out in January.
Yeah.
Echo is the character that first appeared in the Hawkeye show. She's her name's Maya. She's deaf, and she's a great hand-to-hand combatant. But
hand-to-hand combatant?
Hand-to-hand.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was reading lips and it was covered by your
I thought
beard,
you said handy can as well. I was like, oh, okay.
And all right, John Krasinski. But she in the comics she has the power to. She's kind of
one time.
She's kind of four times. She's kind of like
2 times.
Let me guess. You're
me.
You're bad with names.
Yeah.
I'll just wait.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Are we good? Everybody good? Everybody good? Yeah. I'm gonna stab you.
Yeah.
That was gonna happen regardless.
I'm gonna hurt you. She in the comic she has the ability to mimic other people's fighting skills, kind of like Taskmaster.
Like Taskmaster? Ooh, original. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, all superpowers are so original. Look, a guy who can fly. Look, a guy who has super strength. Look, a guy who whatever. It's they're all the same.
Yeah,
There's 25 variations. Anyway, but it sounds like they're probably not going to do that in the show. They're just going to make her a good combatant. But the trailer that they dropped, I was very surprised. Looks pretty fucking good.
A lot of murder.
There's a clip in it.
There's an execution.
Yeah, there's a clip in it where a dude just pulls a gun out from his waist and just straight under the chin to a dude across from him blows his fucking brains out.
Ooh. And also Kingpin beats her father to death in front of a 5 or 6 year old child.
Beats her father to death?
That's the way they implied it in the trailer. At least that's what I took from it.
I thought that was just some asshole on the street. It looked like
I thought that was supposed to be her dad, but
I don't know. Maybe it was, but basically, yeah, she's like I said, she's deaf, so she's like signing to somebody in this scene, and then Kingpin's like watching for whatever reason, and the guy's an asshole because he's like, I don't know what you're saying, get the fuck out of here, sort of thing. And then Kingpin gets out of the car and just fucking kills this guy basically, and then walks away holding Maya's hand.
But he's wearing his classic white blazer,
suit.
and he's got blood all over it. So
and his
badass.
knuckles and stuff. So Marvel also released that they're going to be releasing this under like a new banner called Marvel Spotlight, which is supposed to be for their more like street level, less
we
cosmic,
kill people here.
Yeah, probably sounds like more violent, maybe Netflix-esque.
Better not bring your kids.
Type shows. And they had a very quick little blink and you'll miss it Daredevil cameo in the trailer, which a lot of people were saying was like, oh, it's Daredevil in his red suit. We're getting the red suit again.
No, he's clearly wearing the She-Hulk.
Pretty sure it's the same suit as the She-Hulk show.
Yeah.
Not to say that we won't get his red suit at some point in that, but like I'm like almost 100% certain, and they could always CGI it whatever way they want. But
that's true.
It's like clearly the golden red one to me. But
I thought so. When he rolls over the desk,
yeah, he jumps over
side
and
profile,
you can see the light.
Looks yellow to me.
Yeah, but so that show definitely looks more appealing to me than it ever had been based on what I knew thus far, because I didn't really give a fuck about her in Hawkeye. I thought they didn't really establish her as anything real threatening in that show to me,
except at the end of that series where she maybe
where
kills she definitely shoots
him, and then I think what we see in this trailer is she just shot him in the eye and he survived because he's Kingpin. But in the comics, she does the same thing, and in my understanding, she shoots him in the face, but it's both eyes, and he survives. So
how terrible of a shot do you have to be to shoot him in both eyes and not kill him like that?
I don't think that's. I think that's just
like if you're not doing it from the side,
the Kingpin who's apparently invincible, basically,
even
though he technically has no superpowers in the comics, but
just a super asshole.
So that comes out in January, it sounds like. But
I'm excited for that. I have no reason to be, and I'm going to keep my expectations
I'm
low,
just hoping that it's kind of like they're saying with this Marvel Spotlight banner that it's kind of like unrelated maybe to the rest of like it's related to the MCU because we have tied in characters, but it's not like we have to mention everything, and it's just like a good, well-written crime drama. In starring some of these other characters,
kind of like they did in the Netflix series, where
they'd be like
Daredevil was definitely they bring up all the Avengers shit that happens.
Yeah, they bring up the Battle of New York,
but
and
they
shit
don't
like that.
feel the need to interject it, which I'd be all for that. The other thing they said about the trailer was she's a certified villain.
Yeah.
That she's not a redeeming character. She's a bad person, and that's why she kills people.
Yeah.
So I'm very intrigued. This could be like the Punisher that they didn't get out in front of and say, no, he's murdering people. That's bad. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah. But I think the difference will be that she's we see in Hawkeye, she leads a crime syndicate, basically.
Right.
So she's killing potentially innocent people.
So let's glorify gang members. Is what you're saying.
Essentially. Yes. But it makes me hopeful for Daredevil in terms of the violence aspect of that, because the Netflix Daredevil that they had some great fight choreography and very violent, gory stuff in that. And then I think we mentioned this last week maybe, but or in a previous episode, but with all of the shakeup that Marvel's doing with their TV, and they've now got showrunners and new directors and things for TV, and they got basically the guys behind Loki for Daredevil for the remaining episodes that haven't been filmed. So in combination with what we've seen in Echo thus far in that news, I'm pretty excited for Daredevil Born Again too. So
Right.
But all right, well, anybody else got anything before we move on?
Do you enjoy Legos? Do your kids enjoy Legos? Well, if so, be sure to check out Nebraska's largest Lego convention of the year, Brick Days, November 18th and 19th at the Lancaster Event Center in Lincoln, Nebraska. There will be custom creations from the Lincoln Omaha Lego User Group and Iowa Lego User Group. Vendors from across the Midwest will be selling Lego sets that are current, retired, and hard to find. Vendors will have minifigures for sale as well as loose Lego brick. Finally, something veterans may find appealing, they will have Brickmania as a vendor selling custom military minifigs, sets, and an assortment of Lego-sized weapons. Again, this is Brick Days, November 18th and 19th at the Lancaster Event Center in Lincoln, Nebraska. Times are Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tickets are available for $10 for adults and $5 for kids 8 years and younger. Brick Days, November 18th and 19th. Go check it out and see what you can create.
I don't think so.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. On to the formation.
Formation.
Fall in.
You fall out in that street or I'm gonna kick your ass right off this fucking planet.
He didn't do it.
I thought he was going to do it.
I almost did it. It just almost came out of my mouth.
I had a bunch of pizza in my face, so
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Formation.
There it is.
Yeah, no, I just added it in longer. That's all it was.
There
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
a weird
Yeah,
long
weird-
pause gap thing.
That's
Weird
what
delay.
she said.
Hey.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Mary Jane? Because you're beating Spider-Man?
So I was beating Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's going to become a clip now. So I was beating Spider-Man the other day.
I mean, I'm usually here when you record these, so I can say it whenever you want me to, you know.
So do you want to explain what our topic is today?
This is our salute to service, our honor of our veterans, our Veteran Day special. And so as everybody knows, this is a veteran and first responder podcast. And so with two of us being veterans, it felt only natural that we had to do something for Veterans Day. So what we've decided is we've decided to talk about our three favorite veterans, either alive or fictional, within pop culture.
Or have lived in the past? They don't have to be alive.
Or yeah. They could. Yeah.
Non-fictional or fictional.
Well, so since I introduced the topic, I'll go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be the first out of the bag here.
I'm interested to see if we have any overlap too. When
Yeah.
I was looking,
no. The answer is no already.
Okay,
I know.
fucking,
I read your minds, and I was beating Spider-Man the other day.
You're not getting it this
I
time.
really fucked this up.
You brought this upon yourself.
One joke I made.
Yep. So my first one is going to be a pretty well-known character in all of geekdom, and it is Leonard Nimoy.
Well, he's not a character. That's an actual real person.
Yeah.
He played
Okay.
a character.
He's played
Yeah,
lots of characters.
Spork or something. I
Spork?
think?
Spork. Yeah.
Spork.
No.
What do they have at Taco Bell? Sporks?
Commander
That's-
Spork.
yeah,
I think it
Sporks.
is.
Mr. Spock himself.
okay.
Yeah.
Spock.
Spock.
I hate you guys.
Fuck.
Yeah. So
Never gonna stop.
You know, Mr. Nimoy, I'm sorry if you're listening to this from beyond the grave.
Don't worry, he's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway.
even if he was alive, you know, he wouldn't do that either. So,
Yeah.
is he dead? Did he die?
He did.
He's dead?
He did pass
Okay.
away. Yeah. So anyway, so he was he's an Army veteran. He served from 1953 to 1955 with the Special Services, the Army Special Services, which is an entertainment branch of the Army. And so he achieved the rank of Staff Sergeant in that 2-year time frame, 3-year, because he started at 53 to 55. Yeah, anyway, so he got Staff Sergeant, but basically, so they would go around and they would They would do plays and stuff, kind of like the USO, what the USO does for soldiers that are deployed. And so that's kind of how like he got his boot, if you will, into acting and doing all that. Then he moved out to California and went from there.
You forgot to point out that he's most well known for the rap song he did about Bilbo Baggins from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, no, I was going to gloss over that and not even mention it.
I'm unaware of this.
Yeah, no,
it's worth your time.
I don't know much about Lord of the Rings or Star Trek, so
you'll enjoy it. Trust me.
I'll check it later.
One of these days we'll do a Lord of the Rings watch party.
That'll probably happen before Star Trek. Just saying.
I don't have 4 days to watch 3 movies. Okay.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You don't really want to see to begin with.
I've seen the second one.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
So you have no
point.
context for what even happens.
A group
in
of
the
friends
second.
was going to it, and whenever that came out, and I was in fucking high school, I think. And they're all like, "Yeah, we're going to see the new Lord of the Rings movie," and I was like, "Okay, I've not seen the first one." They're like, "It's
Okay,
fine."
nerds.
So the
I'll
whole time
come.
I'm just sitting there like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And they're like, "Shut up!" I'm like, "Why did you bring me to this? I don't know anything about this."
The opening of the second one completely ruins the cliffhanger that is the first one.
I couldn't tell you because I didn't know it opened on something that was a cliffhanger. So,
But also saved him like 3.5 hours. I'm just saying.
yeah. Also, I
Like,
don't remember a fucking lick of it. So
I talk shit. I actually didn't mind those movies at all.
Yeah, no, they're
Even though you're
really
right,
good.
it is 4 days worth of
yeah,
movies.
like no pee breaks. Like you gotta just fucking
It's
go.
not like Endgame where I'm going to take a urinal with me. Like, I don't care that much.
But yeah, so anyway, so Leonard Nimoy, he's my my first veteran I would like to honor in our Veterans Day special.
good stuff.
Okay, fair enough. I guess we're just going around the table. Is that what
Sure.
we're doing here?
Yeah, I'll go last as always.
So I mean, you're welcome to go ahead of me if you'd like. Okay.
You done eating? Okay.
I mean, I do have another piece of candy right in front of me that I'll happily put in my mouth.
You boys done?
Oh no, we could keep this going. So I looked at everything in pop culture. I looked at
Wow.
writers,
The entirety.
I looked at comic book artists. I looked at sports figures. I looked at actors, directors, all kinds of stuff. Which I have like 3 pages.
How
of
many
notes.
best boys did you look at?
All of them.
Okay.
What about
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
best grips?
Yeah.
Who's a key grip in this room? Punch that motherfucker in the face. Anyways, and I'm gonna throw one out here that we don't really talk about too often on this particular platform, but I'll give a nod to one of your Army guys, Pat Tillman,
Oh, you son of a bitch!
who
Oh, weird. We had some overlap.
retired from the NFL as a defensive back for the Arizona Cardinals to join the Army after September 11th, and tragically was killed in combat. So, I mean, that's a big deal.
That is a huge deal.
We could talk about Ted Williams, who's a Marine. Not saying he's better than anyone. I'm just saying that he was also a professional athlete, but that was a different era, and he wasn't being paid millions of dollars to walk away to join the military. So
Yeah, Pat Tillman actually gave up a $3.6 million 3-year contract with the Arizona Cardinals.
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big deal.
Yeah,
And
so
it-
And not
the
to say
reason-
that it's not a big deal normally, but you just don't see that type of
But I mean,
sacrifice. I mean, that type of like, you're really giving up
yeah,
the good life. Like,
I mean, you can say what you want. $3 million is $3 million. In my life, that would be generation changing.
yes.
money.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah,
Maybe not for some, but in mine it would be.
Yeah.
And I mean, I looked at all the different athletes, and some of them, like at least the most notable. You look at a guy like David Robinson, who he was a star basketball player for the Naval Academy. Didn't actually serve any time, but gets this credit for being the Admiral. That's his nickname, right?
oh okay.
But he forego his military obligation to be in the NBA. Whereas a guy like Pat Tillman was already an established
Oh yeah,
He was a starter for an NFL team. He was a very, very well respected player. He was very good at what he did, and he walked away for millions of dollars to go make dick as.
Yeah,
he got that college pay as a specialist. Private, whatever.
Yeah, he was a specialist with the 75th Ranger Regiment, 2nd Battalion. He joined with his brother Kevin the same day.
Yes.
But famously, the reason I know so much is because he was my number one pick, and you just straight
anytime I could just pull the rug right out from underneath you, I'm going to do it. So.
I can't believe we had overlap.
I love his quote though that he said.
We clarify things before we start.
Yeah. The day after 9/11, he says, "At times like this, you stop and think about just how good we have it, what kind of system we live in, and the freedoms we are allowed. A lot of my family has gone and fought in wars, and I really haven't done a damn thing."
I mean, I don't want to be the get off my lawn guy, but how prevalent is that mindset anymore? Like the recruiting crisis for the military right now, like nobody wants to join. And I get it. I understand why you don't want to join, and I'm not going to be the guy to talk you out of it because I think it's obviously it shaped a big part of my life, but like I just don't think like if you sit down with a kid and Pat Tillman was how old when he joined the Army? He's probably in his late 20s.
Oh gosh, I didn't look up his age.
He was born in 76, it says, and he would
have
joined
been
in May
than
of 2002.
Yeah, so he'd have been in his mid-20s then. Yeah. I mean, if you sit down with a kid who's in college and you say, you can either take this job where you get $3.5 million a year and potential endorsements on the side, or you can eat a fucking MRE and just BFE wherever.
Yeah. Get ordered around.
Get told what to do. Have just overall living conditions that most people in America would not think acceptable for prisoners, like inmates in prison.
Yeah.
And you can get treated like shit. And you're also going to go to a war zone where the chances of you getting killed are pretty high.
Yeah, I mean,
nobody would take the Pat Tillman.
To be fair,
route.
you look at Pat Tillman, and he just looks like a guy that would eat that up anyway.
Oh yeah, dude had no neck.
I mean, he's no neck.
He's all traps. Yeah.
I mean, you look at his picture here, and it's just he
looks like a spec ox.
Yeah,
guy,
he looks like the guy that would be totally like all for it. But unfortunately, he did die of a fratricide, friendly fire. And there's a lot of like controversy behind like how he actually died. But I'm not going to get into that here. What I will say is,
not the place. Yeah.
He did 2 tours, and I think for his sacrifice and for what he did.
But the point is, he walked away from.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unreal. There's,
I wrote down it's the ultimate example of service over self.
I agree. So
very true.
Good luck following that one up. But go ahead. Yeah.
My number 3 pick, or however you want to do this, one of my 3, is none other than James Earl Jones.
Oh, nice!
Yes,
voice of Darth Vader himself, as well as many other roles. He's in the baseball classic
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. He's also in. It just jumped out of my head.
Sandlot.
Thank you. All I could
George.
All I could think of was Hercules, the name of the dog. So, but he was commissioned in, it looks like, just after the Korean War in 1953, and he attended Ranger School, received his Ranger tab. He was then assigned to the 38th Regimental Combat Team, and he basically established a cold weather training command at Camp Hale in Colorado. And then his battalion was a training unit in the Rocky Mountains there. And prior to him being discharged and getting into acting, he was promoted to first lieutenant. Sounds like he was like maybe on a career path as like a career military guy, and then decided that he wanted to get into acting and stuff like that. But
I mean, that's a tough choice. Like like me currently, like I'm on a career path to be military for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And like to have that, like staring that down the barrel, and then like be like, you know what, I'm going to switch over to this instead. That's a tough.
I'm going to go be Darth Vader.
Yeah.
or be in
obviously he didn't know that was in front of him.
Yeah.
Or be in Conan the Barbarian.
That's true. Yeah, he's in that too.
Another movie that was very early on in his career, 1964 to be exact, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying About and Love the Bomb. He has an absolute amazing role as a co-pilot for the bomber that's flying to Russia to go drop the bomb. And there's a great scene where him and Slim Pickens are naming off the inventory of all the supplies they took with them, and it's a highly underrated movie. I think both of you would hate it. It's super dry, but I love that movie. My uncle, that's a retired Air Force, introduced that to me way back in the day, and it's a great movie. But that's an awesome pick. Love it.
Yeah.
That's it for me, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Go back to your number 2 then.
Yep. So my next veteran that I'm going to mention here is Mel Brooks.
Yes. Yeah. He's on my list. I love it.
Okay. Yeah. He was part of the Army Corps of Engineers from World War II. That's when he served, World War II vet. He was a forward observer with the 78th Infantry Division. He then transferred to the 1104th Engineer Combat Group. He fought in the Battle of the Bulge.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So much so that they actually their area got overrun, and they had to switch to like actual infantry fighting rather than just being a forward observer. And then so a little bit more about him. So he was drafted. So he didn't enlist voluntarily, but he was drafted in 1944, and then the war ended in 1945. But while he was he actually went to some of the detention camps and saw the state of the
Holocaust.
Yes, state of the Holocaust, and so that stuck with him, and so he always wanted to do more with that. But he left as a corporal. But what he's really notable about is that he wrote Spaceballs, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein,
classics,
Robin Hood Men in Tights. Just a prolific writer and director. Some of the funniest stuff that you've ever watched. And so I love his movies, and he's just a really great guy that I like to talk about. Yep.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That is good. I would love to do an episode of any one of those Mel Brooks movies that you mentioned.
Probably couldn't do Blazing Saddles.
See, that would be the top of my list, but we'd definitely get canceled. And, I mean, I convinced my wife to watch that movie with me years ago, and she made it about 2 minutes in before she's like, "You're a terrible person, and we're never watching the rest of this."
Yes.
You don't get to pick movies anymore.
But I was really, really trying not to pick an actor.
Okay.
But kind of what we do and what we talk about, it's hard to avoid. So, I'm going to go with Lee Marvin, who you might know him from, actually none of you would know him from movies such as, Delta Force or, The Dirty Dozen. But he was a combat Marine in World War II in the Pacific Theater. He's great in everything. He's been in, like, so many classic movies. But he served in the 4th Marine Division as a scout sniper in the Pacific Theater in World War II. Most notably at the Battle of Saipan. He was kind of famous for appearing on the Johnny Carson show way back in the day, talking about the bravery of his platoon sergeant, who was actually another actor, Captain Kangaroo.
Oh, yeah.
So just the crazy story that he had about him. But The Dirty Dozen, one of my all-time favorite movies. I think that movie still applies today. Like, I think there's some appeal to it for a younger audience, but I think he's one of those old school guys that they don't make it like that anymore. And Lee Marvin he's the shit. So that's and again, my picks are not in any kind of rank order because obviously, how do you follow Pat Tillman? But
yeah,
that's Lee Marvin's my number 2. He's a Marine. Did I mention that? Did I mention he's a Marine?
Yeah,
he's a Marine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Did he CrossFit at all?
I think he would have select words for those that do CrossFit, and I don't think we can say them. We can say Jimmy is a cunt, but we can't say the things that Marvin would say about CrossFitters today. So,
all right, that's me then. My next one.
Yeah, what you got, Duncan?
Unless you want to hear me eat this piece of candy.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. My next one is the king of comics, as he's known, Jack Kirby. Born Jacob Kurtzberg, he's probably, arguably, one of the most famous comic book creators of all time. I would say, other than Stan Lee, he probably has the most name recognition to just like your everyday
also a veteran.
Person. That's why I'm talking about him.
No, I'm talking about Stan Lee. He's also a veteran.
Nope, I'm aware he's in my honorable mentions. But if you shut the fuck up for a second, I could get through
this.
That's
not really my thing.
But as far as his military service, he was an Army scout in World War II. And basically when he'd already started comic book creation at this point, he'd created Captain America. And he was, as soon as he was, brought up to the front, he talked to his superior officer, his commanding officer, and they're like, "Are you really the guy who draws Captain America?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's me." They're like, "Okay, well, from now on, you're a scout, and you're going into towns and villages that we don't have, and you're scouting, you're drawing maps, you're taking notes on all that stuff." So he basically got to use his artistic skills for the war effort there.
That's pretty awesome. Like, he thought initially he was going to go punch Hitler in the face, but like, no, you're going to draw a map.
No, you're going to draw a map. But so yeah, that I thought that was pretty cool that he gets to go do that and use his artistic talents in a very practical way there. But as far as his contributions to comic books, I mean, it's hard to quantify how much of an influence he's had. But he was involved in the initial, like the very beginning of Marvel Comics in the 50s, when they were Timely Comics and then Atlas Comics, and then which very quickly became Marvel Comics after that. And then during the 60s, he created like just fucking everybody, man. He was at least part of the creation of fucking everybody. Fantastic Four, the Hulk, Ant-Man, Thor, Iron Man, the Avengers as a team, the X-Men, Silver Surfer, Black Panther, and many, many others. He continued to work for Marvel up until 1970, and then kind of had a falling out with the company and some others, including Stan Lee, and left and went to work for rival company DC. And there he created what's known as like the Fourth World or the Fourth World Saga, and those characters, which include like the New Gods. So this would be like Darkseid and all of the characters that are associated with him. And he eventually came back and worked for Marvel briefly after his time at DC, but tragically died in 1994 at the age of 76. But without his contributions to comics, it's hard to imagine we'd be doing this even right now.
Yeah, had he not pursued that, where would we be?
Yeah. So pretty
huge
cool
effect on our culture as a whole.
Yeah, pretty cool that he got to help fight the Nazis by making comics and
metaphorically punching Hitler
the quote unquote propaganda side of things, with Captain America punching Hitler in the face and waging these battles against the Nazis on the page, and probably inspiring hundreds or if not thousands of kids to join the military and go off to the fight, and then actually got to go and do the work himself and use that artistic talent for that. So I thought that was pretty cool.
No, I agree. That's a fantastic pick.
Solid pick.
Love
yeah,
it.
Great. All right. Well, I guess back to me then.
Yeah, honorable mention.
Yeah. So as always, I've got several honorable mentions here. So I'm just going to rapid fire them. Adam Driver, he was a Marine. Clint Eastwood, he was Army.
He is a Marine. Just throwing that out there.
Once Marine, always Marine.
Oh,
right?
okay, yeah, because he played Gunny Highway.
No.
Oh, you're
Clint
talking.
Eastwood was in the Army.
Was in the, but you're
Adam
talking
Driver
about Adam.
is a Marine.
Okay, right, yeah. Once the Marine, always Marine. Yeah,
You're welcome.
Yeah. Anyway, Jimi
Happy
Hendrix.
birthday, Marines.
Jimi Hendrix, he was in the Army, and then Elvis Presley, he was in the Army as well.
That's why he's the king, and you're a schmuck.
So yeah, those are some of my honorable mentions. We could get into those at another time, but you want me to go into my last pick, or you want to go around?
Yeah, go ahead, because I'm probably going to ruin your last pick if...
Okay. So you did ruin my last pick.
Oh, that's right.
It was going to be Pat Tillman, but we already talked about him. So my runner up here, I guess if you want to call it that, would be Rob Riggle.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a terrible runner-up for Pat Tillman. I'm just saying.
And again, these are in no order, and he was actually going to be my final pick anyway. But then I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to go with Pat Tillman. But
You
anyway.
think you're going to sneak like another Marine in on me? I got you.
Yeah, I digress. Anyway, Rob Riggle, U.S. Marine Corps. He did 20 years, but he did 9 active, and then the rest he went reserves. Retired as a lieutenant colonel, and he's most commonly known for 21 Jump Street and The Hangover, among several other.
He's famous for his line in The Hangover of
Yeah.
"In the face."
Yeah. And then in 21 Jump Street, where
He
he
was
just
great
like
in
puts his fingers all up in Channing Tatum's
what's the
mouth.
Jeremy Piven one? Sell Hard. Have you seen that one
I
about the
haven't
used
seen
cars?
that.
Oh,
No.
it's fantastic.
Oh,
You gotta see it.
yeah. I have seen. He is in that. Okay.
Yes, he's like I can't remember the name of the disease, but it is like Robin Williams from that movie Jack, where he ages really quickly. So he looks like a grown man, but he's like 12 in the movie.
Benjamin Button. The Benjamin Button disease.
But he ages backwards, right?
Benjamin Button.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
backwards,
I guess he edges backwards. Yeah.
No, but that movie's great. It's
The goods live hard,
goods.
sell hard.
That's it.
That's what it's called.
The classic scene of Will Ferrell falling from the sky surrounded by dildos dressed as Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
That's how I want to go out. I don't know about
Classic.
you. But
Love it. Beating Spider-Man.
I'm sorry. Okay.
So that's my final pick there.
That's good. I got a whole list of honorable mentions. So, Duncan, you want to go?
No, go ahead. You're fine.
Okay, I'm going to rattle these all off.
Okay.
This was a very short amount of research that I did, but my point here is there are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of veterans in every aspect of everything that we do every day, and they don't get enough recognition. So, even though most of these people probably get recognition for things, I'm gonna name them anyways. So, in the world of comics, we have the founder of DC Comics, Malcolm Wheeler Nicholson, who is a World War I vet. So that goes way back. Obviously, we already talked about Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, but another great comic book legend, Steve Ditko,
Yep.
also served in World War II.
Pivotal in the creation of Spider-Man.
Correct.
Your dick.
He doesn't know that, but I bet he's so proud. God rest his soul. But Jerry Siegel, one of the creators of Superman.
Yep.
In sports, we talked about Pat Tillman, Ted Williams, but Jackie Robinson. I briefly mentioned Roger Staubach. Tug McGraw, Tim McGraw's dad.
Oh,
he was a Marine. Actors, this is a pretty long list. I don't know why they get all the love, but you did mention Clint Eastwood, but Steve McQueen, one of the most famous Marines to get kicked out of the Marine Corps.
Really? What did he do to get kicked out of the Marine Corps?
I think multiple things, but one of them was he stole an LAV and drove it through downtown San Diego.
Nice.
So that was a problem.
Pretty cool way to go.
But he's a fucking G, okay?
Yeah, that's right in line with being a Marine. Cause that would be debauchery to the top. Yeah.
Harvey Keitel.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Also a Marine. Gene Hackman, also a Marine, served in Vietnam. Morgan Freeman, he was in the Air Force.
Yep.
Don Rickles, you might know him as the voice of, I think he was the pig in Toy Story.
Yeah.
One of the characters in Toy Story. I don't remember. I think he's Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah.
He was Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah. Look, I'm Picasso.
Yeah, he was in the Navy. Charles Bronson, he was an Army Air Corps guy back in World War II. Drew Carey, of the Drew Carey Show, Whose Line Is It Anyway? And most notably, The Price is Right.
Yeah.
He's a Marine.
Served 6 years. Yeah.
B. Arthur.
I don't think what's it called? The Price is Right for Drew Carey is more notable than Whose Line Is It Anyway?
He took over for Bob Barker, man. Yeah, the guy was a legend.
And everyone hated it and stopped watching the show.
That's fair.
Whose Line Is It Anyway is the fucking greatest improv comedy show of all time.
But let's be honest, was anybody really watching at the end of the Bob Barker years?
Well,
Probably not.
All the kids that would stay home from school.
Yeah, I watched fucking Price is Right with Bob Barker.
So musicians, we'll start off with the Marine there. Nate Dogg, R.I.P. Reppin' 213. Nobody? Oh, yeah. Duncan knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Ice-T was in the Army. MC Hammer was in the Navy. You talked about Jimi Hendrix. Johnny Cash was in the Air Force. So was Willie Nelson. Shaggy, also a Marine.
Wow.
Wasn't me. Lord have mercy. Near the beach. No? All right. Artemis Pyle. He was the drummer for Leonard Skinner.
Oh, okay.
He was a Marine. CJ Ramone of the Ramones.
Wow.
Also a Marine.
That sounds like very against what they became.
No wonder.
Yeah, very much.
Well, he's got a lot of pent-up rage.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Down with the system.
He became very anti-authoritarian there.
Anarchy, yeah.
Scott Schreiner, also a Marine, of Weezer.
Oh, okay.
I don't have it written down, but I think he was the drummer of Weezer too. So there's that. And then just some other notables. Bob Ross was actually in the Air Force.
Yeah, he was a drill instructor.
It makes a lot of sense.
Happy tree.
Of course he's happy.
Yeah, drill instructor in the Air Force. And he said he hated it because he had to yell at people and he didn't like that.
Yeah, that sounds like him. Hugh Hefner, I don't know if you want to claim him, but he was in the Army. I thought about putting him on here
because of what he did for the porn industry.
Where are you going to go with that? You just led right into it.
You mean for like free speech? That's what you meant.
Yeah.
No, free speech, whatever.
Yeah.
Johnny Carson was in the Navy. Mr. T in the Army. Bob Barker, of course, was in the Navy. Ed McMahon, Johnny Carson's right hand, was a Marine. John Glenn, Keith Jackson of sportscasting fame, Marine. Judge Mills Lane from the Claymation Celebrity Deathmatch. Remember that back in the day?
Yeah, I remember that show.
He's a Marine. Robert Ludlum, the author of the Jason Bourne books.
The Bourne series.
Let's see. Chuck Wepner. I think he was in the Army. He was a boxer and supposedly the inspiration for the movie Rocky.
Oh, okay.
Steve Wilkos, this one cracked me up, from Jerry Springer, the security guard from Jerry Springer and Chicago PD guy.
Oh, okay.
Also a Marine. And then to just finish it off here, Dale Dye, who's been a part of almost every military movie in the last 20 plus years. He was a captain in the Marine Corps, but he was in, Saving Private Ryan. He was in Band of Brothers. If he's one of that guys, if you saw him, you'd know who we're talking about. Arlie Ermy, of course, mad respect.
Surprised he wasn't your top.
Well, there's a reason for that. But Tim Matheson from Animal House. He was in Fletch. He was Van Wilder's dad in Van Wilder, also a Marine. Rudy Reyes, who we've talked about before on the podcast, he was in the movie in the series Generation Kill as himself.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He's a G. George C. Scott, who played Patton, actually a Marine.
Oh.
Didn't know that. Jonathan Winters and the director Oliver Stone was in the Army. So those are all my honorable mentions. And I'm out of breath now.
Yeah,
Norris.
Jesus, have a fucking damn it, you motherfucker! That's my honorable mention.
Oliver Stone was?
No, Chuck Norris.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go. It's Chuck Norris.
I think I actually had Chuck Norris written down, but you talked about him the other day, so I crossed him out.
He was in the United States Air Force. He was an air policeman or an AP.
I mean, he looks like he was in the Air Force.
Shut up! And you just talked for 45 minutes straight. And that was actually in the Air Force where he got the nickname Chuck. And started.
So what's his real first name?
I would assume Charles. I didn't even look. No, Carlos.
I was gonna
Carlos
say.
Ray Chuck Norris.
So he's like Emilio Estevez, just like the whitest dude possible.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
And that's where he actually started training in some martial arts that led to his,
did know that,
his
yeah.
black belt and various. He has a black belt in like Taekwondo, Judo, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And then obviously we got to see him, in a shitload of epic roles. And
Which I heard he's
Bruce Lee
coming back
movies
for the
and-
new Expendables, maybe?
God, stop making those movies. I love you, Chuck. I used to watch
Walker, Texas
Ranger
Oh,
on TV
so good.
when I was a kid.
You
Daytime
got that
TV.
Dodge Ram.
It's
Yeah.
the worst, but it's so good in such a bad way. And he's
It's
just
the-
roundhouse kicking motherfuckers in the
Yes.
head. Like,
All
I
the
wish I
time.
could do that as a cop. Just be like,
I'm done talking to you.
Freeze!
Yeah, boom, get on the ground. No, just fucking
Also,
spin kicking motherfuckers.
famously known for the inspiration of your two children, Walker and Texas Ranger. That's
Yep. That's my. How dare you dox me?
Yeah, sorry
The
about
name
that.
of my female daughters, Walker and
Walker,
Texas Ranger. Yeah. So that's my honorable mention. My number one is Desmond Doss. It's not really like a pop culture related. It is because he's been immortalized in movies. Like
Sure.
most recently, Heartbreak Ridge.
You mean not Heartbreak Ridge?
Not Heartbreak. Why can't I think of the name of the movie now?
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield's in it. Just say the name of the fucking movie.
I don't know the name of it.
Oh,
I've
okay.
never seen it. It's not Heartbreak Ridge, though, because that was Clint
it's,
Eastwood.
yeah, you're right.
About First Recon. Just saying.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge. Okay.
That was close.
But yeah, so Andrew Garfield played him in that movie. But basically, he was a United States Army corporal, who served as a combat medic with an infantry company in World War II. He's famous for being a conscientious objector, basically, and he's the only conscientious objector to receive the Medal of Honor. I'm very pro-violence, as we've discussed on this show, but the idea that he felt we see this. It's so good in the movie with Andrew Garfield, but basically, everyone's going to war. How do I have the right to sit here and not I could have he says I could have had a job I had a job lined up at a factory. I could have taken the job there, and I would have been allowed to not serve because of that. But I want to serve. I just don't want to kill people. I want to be helping people while he's doing it, and was able to save an estimated 75 men basically on his own.
That's unreal. That's unreal.
Without carrying a weapon, without firing a shot, without any violence to be spoken of.
While just nothing but is going on around
Right,
you.
and it was in
Just
the Battle of Okinawa.
surrounded by death.
Yeah, in the Battle of Okinawa. If you haven't seen Hacksaw Ridge, it is fantastic. The stuff that they show him doing, like the way that he was. And I understand it's a movie and it's going to be somewhat fictionalized,
But it's hard to say because things like that, just describing what actually happened sounds so made up.
Right. That's the thing with his story is that it's impossible to believe.
No way.
There's no possible. You think no way could one man do all the things that he did there.
Like you hear about guys that survive a shipwreck or like a World War II destroyer getting shot and sunk, and then they had to wade water without a life vest for days and days and days.
Right.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
That it doesn't sound like.
But this guy is actively running into fire without a weapon.
Well,
and
I'm just
saving.
saying. Yeah,
It's just it's that idea of like, I think, what you're getting at is that kind of like that mind over matter, like,
100%.
I'm going to survive this. I'm like in his mind, like, I'm going to help these people. I'm going to I don't want to kill people, but these are still my brothers. And I want to make sure that I can help in a way that is meaningful. And I mean, unbelievable, service there. And he was twice awarded the Bronze Star Medal for actions in Guam and in the Philippines. And then, like I said, he is really famous for the 75 men or more that he saved in the Battle of Okinawa. So,
yeah,
which he earned a Medal of Honor. So.
That's amazing. That's a
great pick.
Yeah, fantastic.
Hacksaw Ridge is a very good movie.
I haven't seen it. I heard
also a documentary called The Conscientious Objector. I haven't watched that yet, but I've heard that's also good. So
I still have nightmares of boot camp when they brought that word up and the terrible, terrible things they did to people after certain folks in the crowd raised their hands. So
like bring up conscientious objector. I'm sure. Like
there's a part
they show that in the movie. I mean,
so
he's not well liked.
There's a part in boot camp where I think he's in one of the Marine Corps history classes about Korea, where the instructor's up there. He's teaching. He's telling us what the circumstances leading up to Korea were, and then all of a sudden, this officer walks in very sternly, very like he's on a mission, and hands the instructor a piece of paper, and then fucking marches out the door. Doesn't say a word, hands him a piece of paper. The instructor reads the piece of paper and says, "We were just attacked. We're all going to war. Whatever your MOS is, whatever your contract's for, everyone in this room is now infantry.
Right.
You're all going to the School of Infantry next week, and then we're going to war." And I don't remember the made-up country that they said we were going to war with, but everybody freaked the fuck out.
Okay,
it was 100% a test, but none of us knew it.
Oh, so this happened to you real life?
Yes, this happened in boot camp.
Okay,
and they went around the room and like, who in here is a conscientious objector? And there wasn't a lot, but there were a couple people that raised their hand.
Yeah.
And the drill instructors from each platoon came around and wrote their names down. And it did not register with me at the time because obviously this was pretty devastating news that we're hearing, right?
Right, yeah.
Or depending on my mindset at the time, the greatest news ever. I don't know. I can't remember. But
either way, this is a fucked up game.
All I know is when we got back to the barracks, all those dudes that raised their hands got absolutely fucking destroyed. So, if you're listening to this podcast before you go to Marine Corps boot camp, I just made all that up and none of that really happens. So.
Yeah. But they show in the movie, like, I mean, until he proves himself essentially, until he he shows that he can be a valuable asset and like do the things that he says he's going to do without firing a shot or carrying a rifle. I'm assuming everyone hates him. Yeah, nobody likes this dude. Yeah. He's constantly, bullied and fucked with throughout boot camp and throughout their deployment up until the Battle of Okinawa, and then at least that's how they display it in the movie. But
right.
So.
Well, I guess I still haven't given my final pick yet, so I don't think it compares.
You named literally every veteran who's ever existed in the history of the planet Earth.
That is not true. If I could have found the name of a key grip or multiple key grips that were in the military, I would have read them. But again, that was a very short list. There's literally thousands of veterans throughout every job.
I'm pretty sure we were here for like an hour and a half and you listed every single possible.
I know. You want that to be the case, but it's not. There's plenty of veterans that didn't get recognized, and there's more that we should give time to, but we just can't. So, I'm going to name the guy that is the closest to a living legend in the Marine Corps that there is. None other than the warrior monk. Call sign Chaos. General Mattis, former Secretary of Defense, former Commandant of the Marine Corps, and just a big old swinging dick. That's all there is to it. He's if you don't know anything about him, I very much encourage you to read up on him, but he's famous for such quotes as, "Go ahead with it. Go ahead.
Thank you. Be polite, be professional, but have a plan to kill everyone you meet."
Every single person. So,
goddamn right.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a straight G, just a badass.
Yeah.
He's an author of a couple of things, and if you ever get a chance to hear him speak, whether that's in person or any of the videos of him giving speeches, I will run through a brick wall. I'm telling you, you would do anything for this man.
He's such a great motivational speaker. He just like pumps you up.
Yeah, he's the shit.
There's the series that he's in, not him specifically, but there's an actor that portrays him in Generation
Killed. It's like half his age in the movie or in the series. Yeah,
but he just portrays him so well, and I want to say like he gets shot at in that scene, and like he doesn't flinch at all or something. Well, he gives
so there's this big meathead, like I think he's a captain maybe, and he was a football player for, I don't remember, some major college football player, and he basically goes into they're in a hot LZ and like fucking just gives him shit, right?
Yeah.
Just like, get off your ass, get over there, and gives him some kind of football speech, and then the captain like drops a bunch of football knowledge on his troops, and they move this fucking Humvee out of the way and then cross a river on a bridge, and then they go fucking kill the enemy, and it's fantastic. But yeah, so Chaos himself, General Mattis, yeah, Mad Dog, yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah,
thank you both for doing this. We could have gone a million different directions in this, but like I said, I think it's important that we honor the real heroes out there. I mean, we sit here and we talk about comic book and movie characters all the time, but there's people that do this shit for real that don't get the recognition for it, and I hope we've done a little of that.
I hasten to call myself a hero, and I know any of these people that we've mentioned would say they're not a hero. So I don't like the glorification, but at least the acknowledgement of these guys and all these gals. Thank you for your service. Thank you for what you've done.
Amen.
It does not go unnoticed, even though at times it does feel like nobody gives a shit. But there's people that do care, and it is appreciated.
Agreed.
100%.
Well, does that wrap it up? Should we get into the mail call?
Yeah.
Let's move on to the mail call.
Let's get that.
Mail call. Mail call. Mail call. Mail call.
All right, the mail call. Welcome. This is where you, the listener, or the viewer, if you watch us on YouTube, but you still listen.
Watch those stills I make on YouTube.
Yes. Anyway, you, the listener, you write in and you give us questions for us to ponder. And we give you our best answers based off of that. And you can do so by writing in at our email, which is geekbattalionvets@gmail.com. That's geekbattalionvets, all spelled out, @gmail.com. Or you can hit us up on our socials at geekbnvets. That's Geek Bravo November Vets on any of the major socials that are available out there. So who's got a question?
I have one.
Go for it.
This is from Mrs. Jesus Christ. It's Jason Bourne.
Oh, the Mrs.
Good to hear from you.
She says, if you could experience any moment from the MCU for the first time again, what would it be? So reliving any moment in all the MCU movies, what would it be? I feel like there's only one answer.
My answer is, and I recently posted this clip on our social media. It's right after, it's in Endgame. It's right after Thanos comes from the alternate reality into theirs and destroys the Avengers campus. And Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor are our original three, who guided, 10 years or more of the Infinity Saga up to this point. They come to the conclusion that they have to go keep Thanos from getting the stones, and we get the classic, it's a trap, right? And Iron Man says, yeah, but I don't much care. And Thor says, well, good, as long as we're all in agreement. And he summons Stormbreaker and Mjolnir, and he gets the sweet Viking fat Thor look that he's got with the braided beard and hair. Yeah. and it lets out the classic, let's kill him properly this time. And fuck, man, like, I know Cap lifting Mjolnir is like moments later and the highlight probably of the whole nostalgia and like payoff of Age of Ultron and all that, but man, I fucking love that moment, and it's because of everything that came before it, and like those three characters and how well they all work together. And honestly, I don't think anything in the MCU has been as good since.
I don't think it's even close.
I've loved lots of things since that moment in the MCU, but like I think that might be my all-time favorite moment. And I just remember like goosebumps when he says it, because you know how meaningful that is for Thor, considering how guilt-ridden he is in that movie and after the events of Infinity War. And so that's my pick right there.
I'm right there with you. I'm like, as long as we're talking about the MCU, I would have picked the Cap Mjolnir moment, but I'm going to extend it to the beginning of what you just said right there with the let's kill him properly. I'm going to take it all the way to where Cap for the first time says Avengers Assemble. Like, and that encompasses the whole grabbing Mjolnir and
do you enjoy Legos?
Getting the shit kicked out of them and the Legos? Thor, I knew it. And
if
like,
so, be sure to check out Nebraska.
Everything in between that.
Cap standing up and fucking
just
tightening the shield on his fucking bleeding out arm.
Yeah, well, he's dying. He knows
he's marching to his death right there. Like, there's no chance he's beaten Thanos.
Without saying it, he's just like, I can do this all day.
I'm marching. That's what I like about the big three there. Like, they've lost to Thanos
as
before.
well as loose Lego.
And they know what
they know all,
find
like,
appealing.
Tony
they
says,
will
like,
have Brickmania as a vendor.
The stones are somewhere under the rubble, and Cap's
sets
like,
and
so
an
we keep
assortment of Lego-sized weapons.
Then, and they're like,
again,
all right,
this is
let's
Brick
go
Days,
die.
November 18th
Essentially
and
is what
19th at the
they're deciding
Lancaster
to do
Event
there.
Center.
Well, what he
Lincoln,
doesn't
Nebraska.
say is he's
Times
the
are Saturday,
only one
10 a.m.
of
to
the
5
three
p.m.
that
and
knows
Sunday, 10
there's
a.m. to
only
4 p.m.
one chance
Tickets are
in
available for $10 for
fucking
adults
million
and
that they
$5
actually
for kids
win.
8 years
And he
younger.
doesn't know
Brick
that
Days,
this is the
November
one
18th and 19th.
until
Go check
Doctor
it out and
Strange
see
gives
what
him
you
the
can
gives him
sign.
the finger.
Yeah.
And, you could go back and look at that moment and like, had Doctor Strange not said, this is it.
Yeah.
Would Tony Stark have made that same call? Would he have fucking snapped his fingers and died?
Yep.
I don't know that he would have.
Yeah.
I don't know that he would have. But Jimmy,
man, great picks. I mean, you just gave me chills again thinking about everything that happened in the past since 2000. Since all these movies have been building up.
Well, 2008 would be the first one in the series
for the MCU proper.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, then into Hulk, and then everything else. That just because that's still a Marvel movie, but it's so you guys don't consider that part of the MCU at all, then, right?
It's hard to say now because, like, I mean, we've included Tobey Maguire in there, and we have the multiverse. So now I think Kevin Feige's come out and said that all the past Marvel properties are part of the multiverse of the MCU. So I mean, you can say what you want, I guess.
I don't know, it's just all of that. I mean, to me, they're all still Marvel. It's all part of Marvel,
sure,
right? I guess I'm not one of those diehards. It's like, well, because it doesn't come out and say it's this, then it's to me, it's still the thing. I mean, the first time that I saw Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, that was a really cool movie and moment, like to really see a good version of Spider-Man, done well.
Well, there hadn't really been there'd been the series, but there hadn't been a live action Spider-Man movie until that point.
Yeah, so it was really cool to see that, and it was done well. It was funny. And it had all the moments that you want, the will they, won't they moments. And so going back and rewatching that, if I could go back to my young self and rewatch that would be a pretty cool moment to do, re-experience again for the first time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a question there?
I do not. I have
one from the guy I replaced, Tony. So he asked, which cartoon franchise not associated to Star Wars would you like to see a live action version of? He says that I would love for someone to take, oh man, his English here. terrible here.
He's an English major.
I know. I would love for someone to taking another shot at G.I. Joe and somehow produce a way less shitty version. But my vote is a really dark take on He-Man. He says Voltron would have too much CGI, which Jimmy would probably enjoy after his Pacific Rim love affair.
You're not wrong. I would love to see a Voltron remake or a live-action Voltron. And there would probably be a shit ton of CGI. And
there'd have to be. Unless they do it all for real.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see a new take it G.I. Joe that's not the Snake Eyes movie, because that was
the G.I. Joe universe. It was terrible.
We've talked about it before, but one of Duncan and I's favorite podcasts, the Weekly Planet, they have this ongoing gag of, we're going to review the movie Snake Eyes next week.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or they're going to do it today, but then they run out of time, and then we're going to do it next week. And the first movie that I ever watched to get ready for the podcast was fucking Snake Eyes.
Oh, really? They got you,
and they got me. They got me.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I'm still bitter about that. So
Yeah.
review fucking Snake Eyes already. I paid to watch that movie, too. Super pissed.
That's terrible.
Man, it was so bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. So, but yeah. Did you read the event?
I was going to
Horizon part?
after
go ahead.
our answers here.
Yeah, sorry.
So did you have an answer for the question?
I mean, I really like the G.I. Joe
Okay. That's fine.
take. Although I'd take a He-Man. Whatever. Either
Mine's
one of them.
probably Batman Beyond. I absolutely love that show.
I still want to see an Affleck version of Bruce Wayne. Like, I'd be down with that.
I wish they hadn't done Keaton in The Flash. I wish The Flash didn't exist. But
you can't put that back in a bottle.
Yeah,
sorry.
And that they did a movie with Keaton as Old Man Bruce Wayne, and a new guy as Terry McGinnis taking over as Batman.
Would you be willing to give him another chance?
Yeah, I'd still be fine with it if they just acted like it never happened.
Because that's how we're all proceeding with our life, right?
And
like,
that's how you should proceed with your life.
I agree.
But I loved Batman the Animated Series. It's like the definitive version of Batman.
I agree.
But for me, I was at the perfect age for Batman Beyond to just be all encompassing in my life. Like all the toys at Burger King and all the episodes were on at the perfect time for me to watch them and all this shit. I absolutely love that show. And then you get the show itself is the idea is a kid is Batman, and what kid doesn't want to be Batman? And so you get to kind of live that vicariously through Terry McGinnis in the show. And I think it'd be really great to see a live action version of that someday, whether it be a show or a series or just a movie. I think a movie would suffice. So,
I mean, I'd like for DC to get a couple things right before they try that. But
I mean, that's the
hope.
crux of all of these answers.
Yeah.
That's true.
I would like this if it isn't
if it
dog
didn't
shit.
suck.
Yeah, if it isn't bad.
Yeah.
But also, he said, I'm disappointed my, quote, replacement said he had never heard of Event Horizon. Are you even a fan of the pod? It was discussed in episode 5. Okay, fine. It was only discussed for 10 seconds. And my response to that would be nobody really listened to the pod before I started as a host. So I don't know what to tell you, Tony, but I didn't catch those 10 seconds.
Tony, I'm going to walk you off the ledge. Nobody really listens to it now, so
That's
it's
true.
fine. It's fine.
That's
No, that's incorrect.
It's fine.
We are getting some
Actually,
listeners.
Are you trying to kill Tony? What are you trying to do?
It's okay, but people are starting to murmur.
Yeah.
I say you can
I
do
don't
it.
think you will. That's so fucked up. Oh, shit. You brought this upon yourself.
Yep.
I can't save you now.
Yeah, I am enjoying the battle between the two of you go down though, and it has been very nice.
Don't test me. I'm 100% professional asshole.
Oh, I'm not discounting that. I know you both very, very well. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the only question I had. I don't think we had anything else.
No.
Nobody loves us this week. So.
Yeah. No randos shooting shout outs.
No.
So
All right. Well, Hey, if you liked what we had to say, or if you want to get your question in, again, hit us up at geekbattalionvets@gmail.com. That's Geek Battalion Vets. It's all spelled out. Or you can hit us up on our socials at GeekBNVets. That's Geek Bravo November Vets. Let's see what else we got.
What about that gear?
Yeah, we got merch available at geekbattalionvets.threadless.com. We have some Loki inspired designs if you're loving the show as much as we are. So those are available. We also have some Ahsoka designs, and then we've got plenty of our archived designs there, like Guardians of the Galaxy, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Mandalorian. Jimmy and B are twinning today, wearing our off the wall design, and I have the Three Amigos hoodie with me today. So check those out. There's
notice he didn't put you on a t-shirt, Tony. I'm just throwing that out there. That's hurtful.
Have you ever heard of the Four Amigos? No. Or the Four Musketeers?
Duncan's next design's just gonna be a blank black t-shirt called Tony, and it's fucked up.
Yeah. I'll release the croc.
Well, I mean, there was D'Artagnan as part of the Three Amigos, but I digress.
He's part of the Three Musketeers, but
the Musketeers, yeah.
But yeah, so that's probably one of the best ways you can support the show, other than spreading the word and getting us more listeners and telling people you love the show, whether or not you're lying or not.
Give us a like, you dick.
Yeah, rate our podcast.
Yeah, you can rate the podcast, give us 5 stars or fuck off, and then you can
exactly.
You can spread the word. You can tell your friends you like it, even if you just turn it on and turn the volume down until the show's over.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
That's great for us too.
Put it on YouTube and just walk out of the room. It's fine.
I hear it puts kids to sleep great. So if you're
I mean, they're going to have some real colorful language in the coming months.
Yeah, but that's all right.
They're going to be trying to beat Spider-Man.
Yeah, but
the best part is you'll have no clue. You just leave them in the room with that, and I don't know why he's
other
obsessed
than
with
those
beating
things,
Spider-Man.
the merch is one of the best ways you can support the show. So,
totally.
There's lots of sales. I'm pretty sure there's a sale going on right now for discounted T-shirts that includes our stuff. So. If you're interested in any of those, go check them out. Again, it's a geekbattalionvets.threadless.com.
Hell yeah. Let's get on that safety brief.
Safety brief.
Oh, I thought you had an intro for it.
No intro yet. Okay.
God damn it.
Yeah, I'll get to it
we
next week.
We don't care about you, safety brief. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Look for the safety brief on the next episode.
The safety brief is the Tony of the show.
Yeah. Oh, because it doesn't exist.
I cannot condone this. Oh, it hurts me a little.
Yeah.
Even.
All right, Duncan, what you got?
I'm in the mood today.
Yeah. So. Can we get him on the Apple Watch and just get a reaction to some of this?
I have an Apple Watch.
You do?
Should I call him on that?
We'll do that next week.
Then hang up on him?
It's just he sees your face and it's just immediate. Yeah.
Classic, you got to flush the toilet. Just flush the toilet and then hang up. Yeah. He'll understand the nod. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much for the safety brief. I'm going to keep trying to play Spider-Man 2 when I can.
Are you gonna?
I'm probably not gonna finish the game.
Nice. Good recovery.
Although finish wasn't probably even a great one, but I'm probably not going to clock 100% on Marvel's Spider-Man 2 for the PS5.
Trademark Geek Battalion Vets.
Yeah. But
we coined that phrase. That's right.
I'm looking forward to the Loki finale. That's probably
the climax, if you will.
Sure, where they beat Spider-Man. But that's what I got.
I'm
what about you guys?
A trend. We went into the last couple episodes talking about
away any other listeners we possibly had. Tony's the only one, and I'm working on driving him.
We may not make it to the end of the episode. We'll see. But no, I'm gonna probably finish Gen V. I've already beat Spider-Man, but I'm probably gonna do that again. So
wow, twice in a day.
Whoa, I didn't say a day. What kind of? I'm an old man. I don't have stamina for that.
Once a day.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know. I'm try to go day to day without seriously injuring myself would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be good for you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got Diablo 4 I got to play. I have Halo I got to play. Also have a Lego convention to go check out on November 18th and 19th.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, there
Going
might be
to lovely Lancaster, Nebraska.
Yeah, there might be some stickers available from Truly Us or from yours truly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm confused. Who?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
From us to you.
I do love Legos. Just saying.
Yeah, there
You
might.
do.
I do.
Yeah, so Lancaster County Event Center, November 18th, 19th.
Just like that very naturally put in ad spot said.
Yeah.
Yeah. That it's not a recording. He
Yeah,
just does that
every time
very
I do
smoothly.
it. Yeah,
Every time.
Speaking of, if you would like to be, if you would like to sponsor B, so he does, stops dying.
Because we don't have universal health care like
To
they do
save
in the
a
Halo
life.
realm. And
Yeah, if you'd like to sponsor the podcast, hit us up at geekbattalionvets@gmail.com.
we'll work something out.
Yeah, we'll do something. All right, anyway, hey.
We will just lower and debase ourselves for whatever
Yeah.
you want.
There's
Just-
really nothing we won't do.
$20
Yeah.
is $20.
Yeah. Heck yeah. I would kill for 20 extra
Put
dollars.
that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, I've been Jimmy.
I'm still B.
And I'm Duncan, not Tony.
All right. Geek Battalion Vets out.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man? No?
You beat your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Multiple times.
Why is he the neighbor? What does the neighbor
I don't know. He
have to
just
do with
says
your
that.
Spider-Man?
He just says that.
It talks?
Yours doesn't? I mean, your Spider-Man doesn't?
No.
Wow. Way to make this weird. Jeez.